Hi, it's Nikki. Today I want to go over a lot of the exercises that you can do for your neck to help your face. In order for you to make progress with your face yoga or fascia work, this area needs to be loose. So I'm going to start out with one of the most important exercises, which is for the back of the neck. So the back of the neck, the trapezius, can get really tight. So I'm going to do two different exercises. You can work between the two to see which one you like better, but either one starts with some compression. So we're going to take the pads of our hands and place them on the back. That thumb is facing down. And then you're going to take the elbow back, put the shoulder up. Then you're going to take your chin, turn it 45 degrees, bring the back of the head back towards that shoulder, and that is going to start compressing the tissue. So why is compression important? Well, when you compress and then ultimately release that compression, the blood rushes in, it warms up the tissue, and you can have a better stretch. That's what we want, better stretch. So you can hold this for as little as 10 seconds, but it's more effective to hold it longer. So I've held it for about 20 seconds. Now I'm going to turn around and show you what we do. I do have maybe a drop of oil on there just to provide enough so that you can slip, but not so much that your hands just go like that. So we're going to get deep into that tissue. And I'm starting kind of here at the neck, where the neck hits the shoulder, and we're really getting in there, stretching that tissue. The longer you do this, the stronger your fingers will get, and the deeper and the better stretch you'll be able to do here. Now, the next thing you're going to do is take your index finger, middle finger, and then thumb, and then pinch. So you get like a little sausage in there. And at first, you might not be able to grab much, but over time, as you loosen up the tissue, you'll be able to grab more. So we're going to do that. And just stretch that out. Now we're going to work the other side. So take the pads of the hands, place them just kind of above the belt buckle there, and then bring the elbow back and the shoulder up. And then you're going to take the head, turn it 45 degrees, and then let the back of the head rest on that shoulder, compressing the tissue again here. This is really key. Now, if you don't have time to do the stretching part, don't do the compression part, because you need to stretch the tissue out after you compress the tissue. So if you don't have time for both, just do this part that I'm going to do right now. But it's effective to do both. Now I'm avoiding the spine area, and I'm working this trapezius muscle just outside of that. And then I'm going to use my fingers to grab the tissue and stretch that out. And I'm going from here up to base of the skull, and then from here over towards the shoulder. Now, another thing that you can do for the back of the neck is take these strong fingers and go from below the shoulder area on the outside of the spine, and then work up. And you can do that anywhere from 5 to 10 times on one side, and then 5 to 10. Then we're going to take our pads of our hands, and we're going to work down that spine. Or want to switch it up. Instead of doing this way to compress the tissue, you can just bring your shoulders up, like bringing it up, and head back. So some people that might be hard on the neck. So if it's hard on the neck, do the other way. But this is a good way to compress the tissue as well. So you can do either one of those at the beginning to warm up this tissue back here. Now, the next thing I like to do while that's still warm is take my fingers and just work up the back of the skull here. You could do this 10 times. Get your fingers in there and work up. Then take one side hand right at the middle, dig those fingers in deep, and turn the head towards that same side hand. And just scrape that tissue. And then we'll do the other side. So then we can work the sides of our neck. So with the side of the neck, I'm going to bring this shoulder up, place my head on the shoulder, and I'm going to push back with my hand. This helps to compress and then release the side here. So bring it up, hold for about 5 seconds, then bring it down, bring it up, and down. So now what we're going to work on here is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So with this, we're going to take our index finger and our thumb, and we're going to pinch. And I'm pinching in deep. You might not be able to pinch the sides and see that. So go as much as you can. Another way that you can approach this is you can push it forward a little bit and then just do that. But I do prefer this method. So starting at the top, pinching, working your way down. And then it attaches right here at the sternum. When we make our way back up, we're gonna pinch at the top, and then we're gonna turn our chin towards it. Pinch again, turn. Pinch again and turn. And one more time and turn. This muscle can get really tight. It affects mobility, and then this all starts to become more stationary with fascial adhesions affecting lymphatic fluid flow down and circulation up. If you can't grab it, just keep working on it. That's just your indication that you need to do some more work here. So now we're going to take opposite side hand and pinch the top of that. Hold it as best you can. And then we're going to make V fingers. And I like to work in front of and behind the ear, because this sternocleidomastoid muscle attaches in through here at the mastoid process. But then fascia also contributes even further up. So we're going to take this hand and we're going to work in front of the ear and behind the ear and then up onto the temples. And then we're going to finish there with just some good work going up. Nice and deep, let the fingers kind of melt. I'm going back and forth, just like jiggling it, and you'll feel it. You'll feel this stretch, side of the eyes. Okay, now we're going to work this side. We're going to bring that shoulder up, head down, and we're going to push the shoulder back, hold for 5 seconds, and then bring it down, hold for 5. So as we bring it up, we're compressing. And then when we release that and bring it down, more blood flow goes in there for a better stretch. So the compressing before stretching is always makes it so much more effective. And then we're going to come in again, and we're going to get in there and just grab it. Now, if you can't grab it, you can turn your head in towards it. That will give you a little more room to get in there and pinch. Now, I'm not going like under, we're just pinching it, gathering that tissue. Now, we're going to get to the top, hold, turn into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Great. So now opposite hand's going to pinch at the top, V fingers in front of and behind the ear, going up to the temples. And then we'll just release this and go above the temples. Let the fingers melt in there. Work up. Yes, I am going to leave this video, this live here, so that you guys can reference back to it. All right, so when we're working the front, we bring the elbows up as high as we can. Chin down, compress the tissue again. Are you getting this is a common theme? Always compress before you stretch. And you can hold this up to 20, 30 seconds, but you always want to follow with the stretch. Okay, so now hold opposite side hand, holds the base at the base of the neck. Pads of hands come up deep, deep into the tissue. We're working from the bottom up. Now, when you get to the top on this last one, rest that jaw on there to give a good stretch underneath the jaw. We're going to switch over to the other side. Pads of hands, start at the bottom, work up. And as you're working up, head's straight in this particular part of it. So just doing 5. And then on this last one, now I can tilt the head in, and that helps to stretch out underneath the jawline. All right, so we're gonna start at the, in between the breasts here on the chest, and we're gonna make a little sausage roll. Might be hard for you to grab this, but work your way in. The more you do it, the better it'll be, and then stretch at the top. I am gonna keep this in the reels. But if you guys have questions as you're doing this, this is a great time while I'm on here to ask the questions. We're gonna do it one more time. And you can see as I do this, you can see the redness, right? That's showing blood in the area. That's anti-aging. Whenever you can bring blood to the tissues, it brings nutrients, hydration, oxygenation. You get better cell turnover. Especially in areas where you have hyperpigmentation, you want more circulation, you want more lymphatic fluid flow. That's the other thing. So we want lymphatic fluid to go to our lymph vessels and be emptied out to take away just all of the contents in our interstitial tissues, because that's where your cellular waste goes. That's where, if your body is trying to fight off viruses, bacteria, it uses the lymph fluid. Yeah, this can be painful if it's really tight and you have fascial tightness in through there. That's why we want to work on this. Don't want it to be tight. Okay, so the chest is loosened up a little bit. Now, I'm going to, right in front of the clavicle, we're going to, I'm going to turn this a little bit, if I can. And you can't see it because I can't turn my tripod to reach that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my index finger and pinky, and I'm going to place it against the wall, and I'm going to be pushing in and down, activating these muscles. All right, so that's what I'm doing. Let's see, I'm going to briefly do that so you can see, right? And while I'm doing that, so my elbow is level with my shoulder while I'm doing this. Then I'm going to take the pads of my hands, I'm going to place them just below the clavicle, and I'm going to be nice and deep, moving towards my shoulder. At the same time, put my tongue in the roof of the mouth and turning away. So we're stretching this out. This helps with jawline, so many things. Tongue. So here we go. You'll feel that all the way over to here. It's a great stretch. You want to look good, this area to look good in tank tops or whatever, this is what you need to do. This exercise, all of these exercises, do them every day if you can. Doing these are going to do so much for your face. Okay, once again, pinky, ring finger, index finger against the wall. I'm pushing down. Its elbow is level with my shoulder. I'm taking the pads in my hand. I'm actually going to turn away so you can see this. Tongue's in the roof of my mouth. Pads of fingers are deep into that tissue. Now we're going to take our thumbs, work the chin. We're going to work in and back. Then we're going to take the thumbs. This might be painful for some of you, especially if you have swollen lymph nodes, so go lightly if you do. We're going to start at the chin, work along the jawline, and then down. And then we're going to take our hands, just work the sides of the neck. Give it a rest for a minute, or 5 seconds, and we'll do 10 more. Then we'll hold at the bottom. So the slapping effect strengthens the collagen and elastin, because whenever you smack the body, it responds by stimulating collagen and elastin production to help strengthen your body against that force. Then we're going to lightly take our hands, work up, which also lightly stimulates the neck. And then we'll just finish with some downward strokes towards the terminus, which is this area right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this neck routine. I'll be seeing you soon.